Your child can recite the entire alphabet, count to 20, and name every planet in the solar system, all thanks to their favorite educational show. But when you ask them to sit with a book for 5 minutes, they can't do it. They're restless, distracted, asking for the tablet within seconds. If this sounds familiar, it's not your child's fault, and it's not your fault either. Today, I'm going to show you why even the best educational shows might be harming your child's ability to focus and what you can do to fix it. As parents, we want to give our kids the best start, so we choose educational shows, the ones that teach letters, numbers, emotions, and problem solving. They seem perfect. They're colorful, engaging, and our kids are learning. What could be wrong with that? But here's what most parents don't realize. It's not about what your child is learning. It's about how their brain is being trained to learn. Fast-paced educational shows, even the high-quality ones, are conditioning your child's brain to crave constant stimulation. Rapid cuts, loud music, bright colors, non-stop action. And when their brain gets used to that level of stimulation, real life feels boring. Books feel too slow. Puzzles feel frustrating. Calm play becomes impossible. The problem isn't screen time, it's stimulation speed. And today, we're going to talk about how to recognize it, why it matters, and most importantly, how to rebuild your child's attention span starting today. Let's start by understanding what's happening inside your child's brain when they watch fast-paced shows. These shows use something called rapid scene changes. The camera angle shifts every few seconds, the music speeds up, characters move quickly, and there's constant novelty. Your brain releases little hits of dopamine with every change. It feels exciting. It feels rewarding. But here's the catch. When the brain gets trained to expect that kind of stimulation, it starts to struggle with anything slower. Reading a book, too slow. Building with blocks, not exciting enough. Listening to a bedtime story, boring. This is called attention fragmentation. Your child's brain has been trained to jump from one thing to the next, constantly seeking the next hit of novelty. And the more they watch fast-paced content, the harder it becomes for them to engage in activities that require sustained focus. Now, this doesn't mean your child has lost their attention span forever. It just means their brain has been conditioned to prefer high stimulation. And the good news, you can recondition it. But first, you need to understand which types of fast-paced shows are causing the problem. Let's break down the 5 most common types of fast-paced educational shows and how each one affects your child's brain. Type 1. Fast-cut learning adventure shows. These are the shows that teach vocabulary, science, or geography through exciting adventures. The content is great. Your child learns a lot. But the camera changes every 3 to 5 seconds. There's constant movement, music, and sensory input. The result? Your child absorbs facts quickly, but their brain never gets practice sustaining attention on one thing. They're learning information, but not how to focus deeply. Type 2. Highly musical, rapid repetition shows. These shows use catchy songs, bright animations, and repetitive phrases to teach concepts. They layer music, movement, and visuals all at once, what's called sensory stacking. Your child might learn their ABCs, but their nervous system gets overstimulated. After the show ends, they're agitated, hyper, or emotionally dysregulated. You've probably noticed this. They watch a 20-minute episode, and then they're bouncing off the walls. Type 3. Interactive call and response shows. These shows ask your child to participate. Can you find the red circle? Point to it. It feels interactive and educational, and it is to some extent. But here's the downside. Your child is being trained to respond on cue, not to think independently. They're being trained to react to external prompts instead of generating their own ideas. And when it's time for self-directed play, they struggle because no one is cueing them. Type 4. High-emotion cartoons with fast action. These shows teach emotional lessons, kindness, sharing, empathy. The content is wonderful, but the delivery is intense. Characters have big emotional reactions, the music swells, and the pacing is rapid. This overstimulates the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain. Your child watches a show about being calm, but the way the show is presented makes them anything but calm. After it is over, you see meltdowns, impulsivity, and poor emotional regulation. Type 5, hyper-educational info-dense shows. These are the shows that pack in tons of facts, planets, dinosaurs, how things work. They're impressive. Your child sounds like a little genius, but their brain is being overloaded. They're taking in information faster than they can process it. The result? They're intellectually buzzy but can't sit still. They know a lot, but they can't focus long enough to apply it. So here's the key insight. The issue isn't the educational content, it's the speed at which it's delivered. When your child's brain is constantly fed rapid novelty, slower, real-world tasks feel intolerable, and that's when you see the attention problems, the restlessness, the inability to play independently. Now let's talk about what you can actually do to help your child rebuild their attention span. This isn't about banning screens or throwing out the tablet. It's about making small strategic shifts that retrain the brain. Strategy 1, the 3-minute reset. After your child watches a fast-paced show, don't let them jump straight into another activity or another episode. Give them a 3-minute reset with something slow and calming. Hand them a bin of blocks. Give them crayons and paper. Let them play with water at the sink. Offer Play-Doh. These activities help their nervous system downshift from high stimulation to calm engagement. Think of it like this. If you've been running at full speed, you can't just slam on the brakes. You need to slow down gradually. That's what the 3-minute reset does for your child's brain. Strategy 2, the 70-30 balance rule. Here's a simple guideline. 70% of your child's screen time should be slow-paced shows. 30% can be fast-paced. So what's a slow-paced show? Look for shows where the camera stays on one scene for 10 seconds or longer, where there's natural sound, not constant music, where characters move at a human pace, where there are pauses in dialogue, where transitions are soft, not jarring. Examples might include shows with gentle storytelling, nature documentaries for kids, or programs that focus on real-world activities like cooking or building. When you shift the balance towards slower content, your child's brain starts to recalibrate. They begin to tolerate and even enjoy slower activities again. Strategy 3, bring learning off-screen. Whatever your child is learning on the show, reinforce it in the real world with slow, hands-on activities. If they're learning to count, count toys together. If they're learning about emotions, use emotion cards or talk about feelings during everyday moments. If they're learning about animals, visit a zoo or read picture books. This helps transfer the learning from the fast-paced screen world to the slow-paced real world, and it teaches their brain that learning doesn't always have to come with flashing lights and loud music. Strategy 4, anchor activities. Protect slow daily routines as natural attention trainers. These are activities like mealtimes, bath time, and bedtime. During meals, practice sitting together without screens. Talk, make eye contact. Let your child experience the slowness of eating and conversing. During bath time, let them play with cups and toys without rushing. Let them explore, imagine, and create. During bedtime, read books together. Let your child turn the pages. Let them ask questions. Let the story unfold slowly. These anchor activities are where your child's brain learns to focus without needing constant stimulation, and the more you protect them, the stronger your child's attention span becomes. So, how do you know if a show is slow-paced or fast-paced? Here are the key things to look for. First, watch for how long the camera stays on one scene. If it's changing every few seconds, it's fast-paced. If scenes last 10 seconds or longer, it's slow-paced. Second, listen to the audio. Is there constant background music, sound effects, or talking? That's overstimulating. Or is there natural sound, pauses, and breathing room? That's calming. Fourth, notice the movement. Are characters bouncing, running, or constantly in motion, or are they moving at a realistic human pace? And finally, pay attention to the emotional tone. Are there big emotional swings, excitement, fear, surprise, all within a few minutes? Or is the tone steady and gentle? And finally, check the marketing language. If the show is described as high energy, action-packed, or fast-paced fun, that's a red flag. Look for words like gentle, calming, slow, or mindful. You don't have to eliminate fast-paced shows completely, but when you become intentional about the balance, you'll start to see real changes in your child's behavior. Let me tell you about a mom named Emily. Her 4-year-old son, Liam, could name every dinosaur, recite facts about space, and count to 100. But he couldn't sit still for a puzzle. He couldn't play independently. And every time she tried to read him a book, he'd squirm and ask for the tablet. Emily was frustrated. She thought maybe Liam had ADHD, but when we looked at his screen habits, the picture became clear. He was watching 2 hours a day of fast-paced educational shows, rapid cuts, loud music, constant stimulation. So we made 3 changes. First, we introduced the 3-minute reset after every show. Second, we shifted to 70% slow-paced content. And third, we protected anchor activities, no screens during meals or before bed. Within 1 week, Liam sat through an entire picture book. Within 2 weeks, he played with blocks for 20 minutes without asking for a screen. Within a month, Emily told me she felt like she had a different child. His attention span wasn't gone, it was just buried under overstimulation. And once we removed that, his natural ability to focus came back. Here's what I want you to remember. Your child's attention span is not broken. It's been conditioned by the content they're consuming, and you have the power to recondition it. Start small. Try the 3-minute reset after fast-paced shows, shift towards slower content using the 70-30 rule, bring learning into the real world, and protect those slow daily routines that teach your child how to focus. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to eliminate screens. You just have to be intentional. And when you are, you'll see changes within days. More engagement, longer focus, calmer transitions, and a child who can sit with a book and actually enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. If this video opened your eyes, please give it a thumbs up and share it with another parent who's struggling with attention challenges. And subscribe for more practical, science-backed parenting strategies. You're doing an incredible job. Your child is lucky to have a parent who's willing to look deeper and make thoughtful changes. Let's rebuild attention, one slow moment at a time.